I was told. You're the only one I can be sad with you. Just take my hand and fly up to the top where the skies are so clear. With you, I wanna stay with you. I wanna stay like I was told. I wanna stay with you. I can't be sad with you. Just take my hand and fly up to the top where the
You'll see the difference now. If we change it, you'll know how. Nothing ever stays the same. Once you let it change. It's like a family tree. Part of you and part of me. And if we should separate, go your own way, I won't wait.
Bring the funk back.
everything reminds me of you, but everything is not enough. Really hot by the ocean, and all of those white hot sands, where every sunrise is just for you. So come along and take my hand.
With you, I can't be sad with you. Just take my hand and fly up through the dreams where the skies are so clear. With you, I wanna stay with you. With you, I love the way that you love have me today. Let's run up through the fields where the sun shines and heals. With you, I wanna stay with you. It's been so cold since you have been gone. Like I was told, you're the only one. It's been so cold since you have been gone. Like I was told, you're the only one. I can't be sad with you. Just take my hand and fly up to the clouds where the skies are so clear. With you, I wanna stay with you. I wanna stay with you. I wanna stay with you.
like a family tree. Part of you and part of me. And if we should separate, go your own way, I won't wait.
Bring the funk back.
Hello and welcome to Match Centre Live. Our game for you today is Chelsea against Manchester United. And joining me is both Joshy Bentwood and Sam Gold. How are you both doing?
Yeah, I'm excited for this game. This should be a very, very interesting game, especially as where both teams are in the league. But hopefully should bring a very, very interesting game, attacking game. And I'm very excited. How about you, Joshy? How are you feeling today?
Well, let's be honest. I think we're all hoping for a draw. You want an exciting game that both teams to drop points.
Let me make this clear to everyone watching so far. Joshy is a Manchester City fan. Sam is a Spurs fan. So that just might put into a bit of context some of the comments you'll hear. Kickoff will be with us in probably about 30 seconds time. So I'll quickly run you through the lineups as we are about to go away. Starting off with the home side Chelsea. As Mendy starts in goal. A back three of Azpilicueta, Christensen and Rudiger. The wing-backs are Chilwell and Hudson-Odoi, with Kovacic and Kante in the middle. And then a front three of Ziyech, Mount and Giroud. As the players are getting ready to take a knee any second now. We'll take you through the Manchester United team. De Gea starts in goal. A back four of Shaw, Maguire, Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka. Fred and McTominay sit deep in midfield with Fernandes ahead of them. The wingers are James and Greenwood, with Rashford leading the line. And we are underway. Manchester United kick us off at Stamford Bridge with a long ball forward, and Chelsea will pick it up here. We can't quite get the stopwatch working for you at the top of your screen, unfortunately, today. So we'll just give you updates as often as we can about what time in the game we're up to. And make sure to put in the live chat at any moment in time. Any questions about the game, about the stream, about the channel, or anything football related, and we'll discuss it as the game goes on. We're about 30 seconds into this one now as Chelsea get a throw. We know that, Joshy, you want, probably a 0-0 draw, to be honest. Lack of entertainment in this one. But what do you think is going to happen?
Well, if going off the past fixtures, it looks like United, they are favourites to win this. Although Chelsea are currently in form. If you look at the past fixtures, Chelsea have only won one out of the last 8 encounters. So you've got to say, United, although not in form at the moment, probably will win.
Well, based on previous encounters, yeah.
Looks like, sure. Joshy, you've done a bit of homework.
He's done more than me, for sure.
Well, if there's anything to go off the last games, obviously it was 0-0 when these two sides met in October, and Chelsea have not beaten United in the league since, do you know when, Joshy? Can you tell me when?
I'm afraid that I can't.
Well, I can tell you it's November of 2017, so you're right in saying it definitely is in favour of United. And in terms of injuries as well, you definitely you'd favour Chelsea, because Chelsea are without Thiago Silva, but that's it. And obviously McTominay is back, Van der Beek and Cavani are slowly returning from injury as well. So yeah,
you fancy Chelsea here because they've got an early ball into the box from Mount, which is just over the head of Giroud. In fact, it actually came off a Manchester United player, and for the first time, and you boys will certainly be happy for me to say this on the stream, it's a corner to Chelsea.
Yes! That's what we love, that's what we love.
And a bright start from the home side. Early ball in, it was Shaw who got a touch on it, just to take it away from Giroud, and you saw his frustration there. But he won't be as frustrated if something is to happen from the corner 2 minutes in.
Interesting to see how Chelsea set up for this corner. Whether they'll pack the 6-yard box or go for runners from the edge.
Looks
Seems
like
they'll
do runners from the edge. Although they haven't put it in the box, have they?
Taken short.
Corner taken quickly, Origi.
Well, what a waste of a corner. It wasn't quite that moment, Sam. But as they played it short, made a following pass, and it went straight back out of play again for a goal kick. And I hate short corners for that reason.
I hate short corners too. I think you've got to get the ball in the box. And if you take the corner short, it has to be a well-oiled set piece, to be honest. Just what a waste.
What a waste. It seemed like it had been practiced.
With short corners, it can work. You just look at Man City play.
Of course, that would be
They're able to get those goals off the short corners due to their, not having much height. They have to play it around.
When was the last time they scored the short corners? And they scored it yesterday.
It's not been for a while, but they always scored from a corner, but still.
You're lucky for Manchester City, you can score on a lot of other occasions.
That's very true.
And of course, do you think, looking at this one, even if Manchester United will win to get the win today, a Manchester derby coming up next weekend, would you say as a City fan you're confident you're going to go ahead and win the league? Or is there any chance of Manchester United at all catching up?
Well, being a City fan, there's always that 1% which knows that we can throw it away. But being realistically, I don't see any other way we're not winning. I think we've pretty much got it wrapped up right now. I mean, 10 points ahead currently, depending on the result of this game, who knows?
Would you say if this game is a defeat or not a win, even a draw for Manchester United, then the race would 100% be over?
To be honest, I would say it's already 95% over.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. What about you, Sam, as a Spurs fan? Chelsea, I'm not even sure myself with this one. Do Spurs fans want a Manchester United win, knowing that Chelsea are probably their more realistic rivals for possible top 4 for Spurs?
Well, it's an interesting one because I still believe that United have the capacity to mess this up, whereas, you know, Tuchel have got this Chelsea team playing some really nice football recently, and they're unbeaten since he's taken over. So I can only really see Chelsea on the up and United going down. So if I had to call it at this point, I'd say that I think Chelsea will get top 4, and if United are going to get it, it's going to be by the skin of their teeth, but I think they'll be playing Europa League football next season.
Well, they weren't meant to be playing Europa League football this season if they weren't knocked out of the group stage of the Champions League earlier on. That was at a much more troubling point in their season. They've turned it around at the moment, especially with that glimmer of the title race or being top of the table
Oh, hang
quite a
about.
few weeks ago.
Look at this. What a run.
Well, you're ahead of us now because it's Rudiger running forward for Chelsea. Still going. He's down the left-hand side, just outside the box. Chilwell trying to overlap. Rudiger cuts back on his right foot, swings the ball in, and it's away by McTominay.
I should be
James gets there.
I should be closer to you now.
Well, the ball was just gone out of play a few seconds ago, and Chilwell's down.
He's straight back up though.
Straight
no
back
malice
up.
in that tackle.
There was always
Who
going to be
knew
a
that
few
centre
technical
back had that in
difficulties.
him?
Well, he showed it. Oh no, it wasn't him. It was Zuma,
was
wasn't
Zuma.
it? It was last season in the Champions League against Ajax. That was a point where I think Chelsea were 4-1 down, managed to come back and make it 4-4 in that one. As James is back on his feet with 6 minutes gone here at Stamford Bridge. And make sure if you've got any comments, any questions for us to discuss about throughout the stream, then put it in the live chat and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Here's Wan-Bissaka. Chilwell intercepts and it's Mount who picks it up for Chelsea. Still
What can he do?
Mason Mount.
Oh.
1-2 with Ziyech. He's inside the area here, Mason Mount, and gets a shot away.
Get the
It's
ball outside the
straight to
feet.
Lindelof.
And it's blocked by the United defender.
Ziyech. Mount. Back to Ziyech again. It was a loose touch from him though.
Oh,
Maybe a
that's a
first
poor
chance for
touch,
Manchester
isn't it?
United to break. As they look for a long ball over the top towards the pacey James. But, well, the referee stopped
got
it
a-
for some reason.
I've got a question for both of you. What's your opinion on Bruno Fernandes?
You've got to give him his credit. Because one thing Joshy, I know you've got the stat for the amount of assists he's got. Is it 10 or 12? One of the two?
Well, he is both United's top goal scorer and top assist this season. 15 goals, 10 assists.
And,
You can't-
and with the 15 goals, there's a lot of people will talk about penalties, and certainly with our trailer, if you saw that, I put a little hint towards
that
the
was
amount of
brilliant.
penalties. But one thing you can't fault is the amount of assists he's got, which is 10, which still makes a huge impact for Manchester United. I still think
You
he's
can't
brilliant, but I
underestimate
think, and Joshy, you'll consider this one, I still don't think he's anywhere near that level of Kevin De Bruyne, with a lot of comparisons being made between them two.
Well, the way I look at it, Bruno Fernandes, top class player. He's got 10 assists this season. I think that's joint third currently in the Premier League.
Behind Harry Kane, may I say.
Yeah, just about
Behind
to
Harry
say.
Kane. But then you look at De Bruyne, who has 11 assists, and he was out for a month and a half. And I think that you can just tell about how the two different players are.
I know
so-
definitely. I remember when United and City met, and they've met a couple times this season. And Fernandes was just a shadow of himself, and he wasn't really in the game. But one player that was not just in the game, but just shone throughout was De Bruyne. And he's just, Joshy is a different gravy. And I think Fernandes is not at that stage of his Premier League career yet where he can dictate every game, especially against the top six, the way that De Bruyne can.
I mean, if you ask me, that perfectly highlights the difference between the two players. De Bruyne is able to impact a game, whilst Bruno Fernandes, he feeds off the team. He feeds off the team's confidence, and that highlights, just elevates his game.
Yeah, I don't think we should be comparing De Bruyne and Fernandes yet, but remember, De Bruyne, it took him a season or so to get off the mark to where he is now, and Fernandes, it's been a year and his stats since joining are phenomenal, and penalties, no penalties regardless. He's completely changed this United side from where they're at. But I'll pause because I think
United are on the break. It was from a Chelsea corner. It's Rashford and he swings one in towards the penalty area. It was well defended by Christensen, and then Kante will break out for him inside his own area, and then he gets it clear.
But only as far for a Chelsea throw-in, just outside their box.
It looked that way. It wasn't the best clearance. He had a lot of time, Kante, when he received the ball. But yeah, it didn't look like a convincing clearance from the Frenchman.
A little push in the back there from Rashford, quite clever.
You've got to think, can Rashford do a bit better though? You know, his ability to take on players in a 1v1. He's just tried to kick the ball to Daniel James.
He rushed the pass more than anything there.
Yeah.
And as we saw, it was quickly taken clear.
As Giroud has it for Chelsea.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate some wonderful bicycle kicks, not just from Giroud, but also Dele Alli midweek. Just beautiful.
Well, it's like, I remember Mkhitaryan scored his scorpion kick in 2017, and then a week later Giroud did it, and now it's happened with bicycle kicks with also Giroud and also Dele Alli. And so we're 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes in.
It doesn't involve Arsenal.
That is good. It could have involved Arsenal, but of course Giroud, was it 2 years ago he left to join Chelsea, almost 2 years ago? And for me, I still think it was the wrong decision from Arsenal. I think he's a brilliant plan B, which they still don't have in their team, even with the quality in Aubameyang and Lacazette. As Rashford gets a ball in for Manchester United, it's over Dan James, and it's going to run for Hudson-Odoi down the right. 11 minutes in here. We're going to keep on reminding you or telling you what time in the game we are because of our stopwatch not working for this stream. We'll try and get that sorted for you, maybe at half-time or as soon as we can. As Ziyech trying to battle with Greenwood. He wins it back for Chelsea, and now it's N'Golo Kante. He leaves it for Mount. He's dispossessed by Fred. A bit scrappy down the left-hand side from both sides, although Fred's able to get away from Kovacic, but not Azpilicueta, who will shield it by his own corner and then clear it away for, I believe, a Manchester United throw. It will be.
Yep, taken by Shaw.
It's been a bit cagey so far, like the game that was played earlier on in the season, although Fernandes tried an effort from the edge of the box.
Oh, looks like it's going to be a free kick for United. About 35 yards out.
It's Rashford who scored from that kind of range last season in the Carabao Cup. And maybe he'll step up for this one as well.
I think United fans in particular will be happy to see McTominay get up from this, because he's just been out for 3 games recovering, but yeah, he should be fine with that. Just a little knock, nothing much.
Not sure if the referee's got that one right though.
It seemed like a high boot from McTominay, didn't it?
Yeah,
that's what I would have thought.
But I guess in the first place, Mason Mount had his boots up when chasing it, so it was sort of 2 wrongs from both players, but it just happened that the foul was from McTominay in the end, I guess.
Yeah, the first wrong was the one that was given.
No. If you're if you're the Man United manager here, who would you let take the free kick? Rashford or
Rashford. It's got to be. It's got to be with the goal that he scored last season.
That knuckleball from 30, 40 yards out. That was.
I mean, it is both Rashford and Fernandes standing over it, and he's going to take it. Mendy standing in goal.
So Mendy's done his homework, remembering that free kick. As here comes Rashford. It's palmed away from Mendy, and it seemed like he did do his homework because he didn't want to try and catch it. Was that inside the area from a Chelsea player? I wasn't quite looking.
United player.
VAR need to look at that.
No, it was
Chelsea
United
can go
player
out and
handball,
vote.
so Chelsea would have been safe. But it comes out to Chilwell on his left-hand side.
And now it's with
Played
Mount.
up now.
Kovacic back to Rudiger for Chelsea.
It'll be interesting to see how VAR look at that, because from the angle that we saw that, and that was quite far out, it definitely looked like it struck his hand.
Yes,
Which
but it looked
player?
like
Which player though? Because I didn't see.
Was
Yeah,
it Hudson
look-
Odoi?
Looked like a United hand rather than a Chelsea hand.
Here's Ziyech on the edge of the box trying to low-driven shots, but it's straight into the palms of De Gea.
I think it was Hudson Odoi. That's why they're going to show it
I
now.
was seeing a replay of it just now.
Ooh.
Oh,
I thought it was.
that looked-
I thought it was off Hudson Odoi. Yeah, it was.
It was.
And
That
his
is
arm
on
was
Hudson
up.
Odoi. I think the ball's not gone out of play yet, though. So will VAR have a look at it?
Is he
No,
going to
no,
the?
he's
He's
coming to
jogging
look at the
somewhere. I
monitor,
think he's
I
come
think.
to the monitor, and with VAR, I think he's going to give this a penalty to Chelsea.
I have a feeling.
I think that's a
I
penalty.
don't think. I feel like you can't argue with this. His hand's in an unnatural position, and under the rules at the moment, it is a definite penalty.
I think it, and I think it's
Yeah.
going to be given. And it certainly hit Adoy's hand before Greenwood's, which I think it bounced back onto after it did. But it was Odoi first, so I think it's going to be given a penalty here.
Yeah. Oh.
And not
That's pretty
for
much
Manchester
Who's gonna take
United.
it?
Azpilicueta being clever and dragging Hudson Odoi away from the monitor, making sure he doesn't get an additional yellow card.
That's true as well, in fact. He's not happy. He knows that the penalty is going to be given against him with the smile he's showing. And has
The
he given
referee
it?
signals for a penalty.
He does. I didn't see the TV screen, but I saw him point to the spot. And Hudson
The
Odoi
referee
complaining.
did not give a signal. They're just pointed for the spot.
I'm against some of these soft handball penalties given, which they've gone down on them as the season's gone by, but that one, for me, for sure, a penalty. And the correct decision from VAR there. And a big... Ooh.
But it is. These are the matters
I don't think
where.
I don't know what...
Oh, what?
Has he not given it? He hasn't given it.
Oh!
We were wrong all the time.
joke.
This is outrageous.
And
Oh my
you
God.
boys know how much I'm always against VAR giving penalties. But that time
Yeah,
I was
you said
happy for them
yourself
to give it a
that it was a
penalty.
penalty.
I'm surprised.
That's a big decision. I think the wrong decision there by the
I think the
officials.
wrong decision. So a let off.
He's a very lucky boy, Hudson Odoi, and I think he knows it.
We're seeing the replay just one more time, and that definitely does hit Hudson Odoi's arm.
Whether it hit Greenwood's first, we'll see it. No, it hit Hudson Odoi's first, way before it hit Greenwood. And I
Could
think
you
that
ar-
should be a penalty.
Could you argue though that Greenwood is pushing Hudson Odoi's arm up?
Yeah,
Very
I was
tough into
thinking
the ball.
that, but from what I saw, it didn't seem blatantly obvious that Greenwood interfered with Hudson Odoi's arm's movement. So, I think United have gotten away with that one.
I think that under the
Interesting.
No,
modern
Chelsea got
era,
away with that. United are head in hands.
in the modern era, I'm shocked, but I'm happy. Well, am I happy? I thought it was a penalty, even in the old days. So I don't know how I feel with that. And well, I'm sure we'll talk about VAR in more depth another time, as you two know how much I despise it. But United are going to have to get on with it, and it's Chelsea on the ball at the moment. We're 17 minutes in here at Stamford Bridge, with Chelsea still on the ball inside their own half. As Mendy now has it for the hosts. This is Rudiger. United high pressing as Rudiger's forced long. And
that looked. Wow.
Oh, Giroud goes down holding his face.
I
Doesn't seem too serious though.
I think he was playing for it. We'll see on the replay.
Yeah,
Players
but-
nowadays, any sort of contact on their face, their head in hands, they're shouting, they're screaming, they're going to the ground.
And whatever has happened here, I'm happy that Giroud didn't jump to the ground with all his size, like we do see some of the bigger players just jump to the ground despite a little knock on them. But the free kick has been given to Chelsea. We haven't seen a replay, but I'm sure it must have been a free kick. I'll trust the referee on that one. As Chelsea let it go out, they've got to throw inside the Manchester United half. Here is Mason Mount. Kovacic. This is Rudiger. And now Christensen. Chelsea having more of the ball. United looking to hit them on the break so far. That's been the theme of it. Rashford had a half chance. He couldn't quite get his ball right to James. That was early on. And of course the free kick from Rashford, which was saved by Mendy. And then not long after followed the controversial penalty not given for a change. But I guess it wasn't given to Man United. That's what shocked me most. As Maguire has it. Lindelof. This is Wan-Bissaka.
Who just kicks it long and gives it away for them multiple times. It seems Wan-Bissaka seems a bit shaky after these first 19 minutes.
He's never been strong attackively. That's well known.
But Daniel James just takes out the Chelsea player, giving it for a Chelsea free kick.
I think
Good
Chelsea
to see
would
James
take
back
that.
into the team.
Yes, it was a long absence. I'm not even sure if it was due to a long injury.
No,
think he
just
just got out of
struggling to get
favour with
into
the
this
manager.
United team. Another player who's been struggling to get into this Chelsea team as of recently was Hudson-Odoi, and it's been interesting, especially now with a sure penalty that should have been given with surrounding him, because as you know, in the Southampton game, got brought on at half time and then 30 minutes later got taken off.
Yes, and we saw that with Moise Kean last season against Manchester United, and he couldn't get his Everton career back going after that. But Hudson-Odoi has seemed to regain the faith of his manager. So we're 20 minutes into this one. 0-0 the score.
He had a good game, Hudson-Odoi, against Atletico Madrid midweek.
And what a big game that was for Chelsea as a whole, which puts them, you would say, favourites to go into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. You still never know with this new home advantage with no crowds. It'll be an interesting one.
And it'll be interesting to see how Atletico Madrid approach this game, because they were a lot like Spurs earlier on in the season, where they look at games from a defensive standpoint and they try and get you on the break. But I feel like Chelsea would rather be the team now to sit back, as they have the away goal, and let Atletico come at them. But obviously there's no way of knowing until they kick off, and it should be a very interesting clash.
Well, Hudson-Odoi has it on the right, played out to Azpilicueta. Back into Hudson-Odoi, he strikes it just wide of the post.
Not a bad effort from Hudson-Odoi, that.
No, he caught the ball very well. Just hits it with a bit too much, and it just goes wide. De Gea rooted to the spot.
It's a good move from Chelsea. I think that's their second shot on goal. They had another one from range from Zik before, and he just didn't quite catch it right, Odoi, there, as he strikes wide.
United won't mind those shots, though. The ones where they just kick and hope. At least they're keeping them to the edge of the box, where more than likely they will miss.
Look at this Chelsea press.
Very high press by Chelsea. It's
Away free kick though, yeah.
Relentless.
Both teams have been willing to press so far, Manchester United and Chelsea. And it's almost like Manchester United don't want the ball inside their own half. Every time they get it in their own half, they just plant it long, give it to Chelsea, so that they can press them and hopefully win it back and get a goal like that. That seems to be the run of play from the away side, as Chelsea are a bit more happy to build up as well as pressing Manchester United when they're on the ball.
I must say that apart from the odd triangle passes, it does seem pretty scrappy from both teams in these opening 20 minutes.
Maybe it's heading to another 0-0 like earlier on in the season.
Let's hope not.
Let's hope not.
So,
Well, let's almost hope not for Josh's sake.
Well, let's hope
I
it's
want
like
a thrilling
3-3
draw.
or something. An
I want a
exciting game that
thrilling
ends in a draw. And remember, I'm a Spurs fan, so I'll look at it like that.
it's good skill by Fred, picks up by Greenwood and gives it away.
Breaks out for Kovacic though for Chelsea.
Back to Kovacic, who plays it over Azpilicueta, who can just about keep it in on the far side.
Oh, that was risky from Kovacic. Got away with one there. As Kante just about saved him, but as a result loses possession for Chelsea.
And it's
Nice
favourite McTominay in the middle of the pitch.
Domine, who finds a pass out wide to Wan-Bissaka.
Here's Greenwood.
James.
I think I'm ahead of you all now. I'm just going to slow my stream down for a second.
I think I'm about the same as you, Tyler.
Ah, okay. Here's N'Golo Kante for Chelsea.
Kicks it
Giving it
forward, cut
away.
out by Fred. Up to Rashford. Plays it inside to Bruno. Back to Rashford. And Azpilicueta shields it off for the goal
Well
kick.
seen out from Azpilicueta. But you thought Rashford, when he picked it up on the edge of the box, maybe could have had a shot. He seemed a bit hesitant. It's poor from
Seems he
Kante
just-
initially.
I think he just saw Bruno Fernandes out of the corner of his eye and tried to play it back for him to have the better opportunity. Fortunately, that chance goes wayward.
And Chelsea played out from the back with Kovacic and then back to goalkeeper Mendy. And a lot of goalkeepers have to earn their way into the sides. I think with the poor form of Kepa Arrizabalaga, it was inevitable that Mendy was going to be first choice goalkeeper, not after that long. And he's yet to fall out of the team yet.
Well, he's been a very, very promising signing for Chelsea because that goalkeeper position has been a hard one to replace since Courtois left the club, and so far Mendy has done a job. Whether that is, comparable to the likes of Alisson or Edison, we'll have to wait and see.
It seemed like a panic buy, but a less risky one, which because Kepa Arrizabalaga was more of a panic buy after Courtois left them late on in the transfer window. But that one they wasted 80 million on, whereas with Mendy they didn't want to make the same mistake. But I've always seen since Mendy signed it's just a temporary thing, just until they have a bit more time to sign what I would call a more title contending goalkeeper, like as you mentioned, Alisson and Edison.
Mendy's done well enough.
Interesting where Nick Pope falls into all of this because, as you know, he's probably looking to leave Burnley this season, and there's a lot of top clubs, including Chelsea, including Tottenham, United, Leicester, all looking at him. And as much as I'd hate to admit it, he'd be a very good replacement for any goalkeeper. So Chelsea definitely one of those clubs very interested in signing a good goalkeeper like Pope.
Pope, who conceded 4 goals today against Spurs. That was the earlier game this afternoon. Here's Luke Shaw. Gives it away though, and they'll let it run out for a Manchester United throw. And you can't see the other scores at the bottom of your screen.
Yep, Gareth Bale has seemed to found some amazing form, which I'm very happy to say.
And I think he'll be able to sustain it so long as he stays fit, which is the very big issue with Gareth Bale.
Fit and not injured.
Yes.
And the earlier kickoff, which I think all of our surprise, Arsenal beating Leicester away from home 3-1. Where'd that come from, Joshua?
Who knows? But all I know is it's a great result for Manchester United, and can they capitalise on it? It'll give them a solid lead in second place. 3 points ahead of Leicester if they can win this today.
As Maguire can bring it forward, plays a pass to McTominay, back to Lindelof. Oh no, Fred.
Don't worry, I've made worse mistakes than that on my time
Think forward to
commentating.
Rashford.
Well
And out
defended.
for a goal kick.
Very well defended by Christiansen. So I'm going to get my viewing back up.
Doesn't he?
Rashford just offside in that chance. But it's looking promising for United. They've had a good few opportunities with a ball over the top for Rashford. Unfortunately, just not able to capitalise just yet.
Interesting opening 27 minutes. You couldn't really call which side is on top because they both had chances. You'd say United have had more, but Chelsea are on the break. But Ziyech just plays a ball too far out wide for Hudson-Odoi to gather, and it's a Manchester United throw near the corner.
Ooh, was a
Taken quickly out to Maguire. Back to Shaw.
And the Chelsea
Maguire
players come in again. But they've
Plays it to Harry, who has a bit more time.
they've played out.
United calm under pressure. Just playing the ball around. See, it's coming McTominay, take it forward now.
When Chelsea nearly win it back, but it falls back to McTominay. He can play it out to Wan-Bissaka. He can look for a forward pass to Fernandes off his head. Daniel James can sprint onto this, but good defending, and they play it back to Mendy, who can play it back out wide to Chilwell. And United press, but Chelsea seem to have regrouped well.
I'm going to need you guys to keep on going. My stream's falling behind again somehow, so you two keep on commentating, keep on going.
And United are pressing really high here, but Chelsea have managed to keep the ball and keep it well. Oh, but
Crossfield pass. Missed by Rudiger and out for a United throw-in just outside the Chelsea penalty box.
it's just praising Chelsea, and then Rudiger goes and moves out the way of the ball.
Risky pass though. You've got to think by Hudson-Odoi playing a crossfield pass. Not something you
Basic
see every day
Sunday
in the Premier League.
Never play it across the goal.
No, as United have it back in their own half now with Lindelof. It's under pressure by Giroud and goes back to De Gea. Maguire. Plays it across the pitch. Can he find Daniel James? Daniel James plays it, keeps it down well and back to Wan-Bissaka. Now McTominay.
Chelsea's defence is really compact, moving across well, but
Also good
that's
ball.
a fabulous ball to Luke Shaw out on the wing.
Can he put a cross in? Looks up.
Can he find? He's been marshalled out by Hudson-Odoi, but he plays back to Fernandes. Fernandes to Harry Maguire. He tries to bring it forward to Fred.
Got to think United's best chance of breaking down this Chelsea defence has got to be playing on the counter. It's looking very secure at the back as Fernandes plays it out for a Chelsea throw-in.
You know, midweek game, Chelsea against Atletico. Atletico's best chances against Chelsea were on the break, and they would think that they should have scored a couple times that game. So that's definitely a part of United's game where they're going to try and capitalise against Chelsea's high press and committing players forward. So yeah, they've caught them a couple times, haven't they?
Yes, and it's always been those quick passes, the long ball over the top for Rashford. It's where United seem most dangerous in this first opening half an hour. As it's Chelsea now. Out to Chilwell, under pressure from Wan-Bissaka. Plays it forward for Mount. Can he get it past? Yes, but fortunately picked up by McTominay. Back to De Gea, kicks it long. Bad kick, it falls to Giroud, who skies it. Scuffs his shot and hits it into the second tier.
Was it a mistake from De Gea? Oh, yeah, it was. I've just seen that now. Bit rushed from Olivier Giroud there.
How about you try restarting your stream?
That's what I've been trying to do for the last 5 minutes, but I'll keep going. You two are doing a great job, so...
Chelsea again pressing high with Giroud. And it's out for... What's the referee going to give here? I think United throw-in.
Giroud just needed a bit more composure there. I don't think he expected De Gea to kick the ball straight to his feet, and he just blasts it over the bar. But now Chelsea are playing around the back with Azpilicueta out wide to... Oh,
Hudson-Odoi who flicks it on.
a flick.
And
And
flicks it on straight out of play.
if you're a manager, you don't mind players doing flicks and tricks, but they've got to work. And if they don't, well...
As it's Fred plays it forward, cut out well by Christensen. As he brings it forward now to the halfway line. To Ziyech. Dispossessed by Fred. Gets fouled. Referee plays advantage.
United have players forward, but they've slowed down the attack and allowed for Chelsea to get back. And Fernandes plays
Again,
an awful
plays
ball
it out.
and plays it completely out of play.
Fernandes looking a bit shaky in his opening exchange.
Now, if you're a Chelsea fan, what do you make of seeing Werner on the sideline for a game like this? Because obviously he's not at the start to the season that him and Chelsea would like, but he's still, you can tell he's a player full of quality, and just having him on the pitch at any point in the game, it could be the difference between scoring or missing, really.
I think all of us with the teams we support can think of teams who have taken time to settle into the Premier League. Spurs with Tanguy Ndombele, who is certainly a fan's favourite at the moment. The player I'd mention for Manchester City is Cancelo, who I believe had a slower start last season, but he's been brilliant this season.
Couldn't make it into the team, and now he seems our best option.
So I still think a lot to get excited for Chelsea fans.
Yeah, they've definitely got a good players in their ranks, especially the German connection between Havertz and Werner, as Luke Shaw finds an intercepted pass get back to him as he tries to take on Azpilicueta, but it goes out for
Man United corner.
Oh, corner.
There we go.
Let's not forget with Werner, he is their top assists for the season and only second with top scorer. Although he's had a slow start, he's still been one of Chelsea's most influential players this season.
I think with the goals, that's just doesn't look good on Chelsea rather than it looking good on Werner. But the assists, I guess if you're not scoring, if you're a striker, the next best thing you can do is get top assists.
Yeah.
So not all
Well,
bad for Chelsea.
interesting to see.
He's only scored 4 shots from over 60. 4 goals from 60 shots. As a corner is not even doesn't even beat the first man, and it's out for a Man United throw in with Shaw.
That's really not a good shots to goal ratio, that.
You could put a positive turn on it and say at least he's still got the confidence to be taking on shots.
Well, if
despite
you're a
his lack of
Chelsea
goals.
fan, you want to see your striker, no matter the confidence, trying things, and if they work, great, and if they don't work, then get your head up and play for the team.
As Hudson-Odoi takes it forward for Chelsea on the counter-attack, but turns back and plays back to the defence. Seems no team really wants to play that quick flowing football today.
Just like at Old Trafford earlier on in the season.
Exactly, let's hope for not a goalless game. We want a thrilling game today.
Well, we've had one moment of controversy with the penalty, which I think all of us were in agreement that it should have been a penalty to Manchester United. And so we are about 10 minutes away from half-time at the end of the first half.
Rudiger spins away from Daniel James. Plays it across to Hudson-Odoi, who has a lot of space here. Can he put a ball into the box?
Oh!
He does. As Giroud, just wide.
And it looks like he's picked up a knock from the post.
Ooh, painful one.
He's just clutching his back. Referee
Oof.
waving over the medical officials.
Well, that seems as
Hope
good
he's
an
all right.
opportunity as Chelsea have had this half.
It
Very
certainly
good
does.
opportunity. Great cross from Hudson-Odoi. You've got to think, can Giroud do any better there? He's unchallenged in the air.
Oh, he's reaching.
He's reaching on just ahead of him.
And
As
he
he
has
slides
picked
into the
up.
post.
It was that good of a
Quite a
cross
bad
that any good contact would have ended up hitting the back of the net.
You've got to think, could he have done better if he went with a leg instead of his head?
But when the cross is as tantalising as Hudson-Odoi, Hudson-Odoi's, just any sort of touch, and you'd think that ends up in the back of the net.
Good to
whilst
see
we
Hudson
wait-
Odoi doing well though, especially after, as we talked about before, the 30-minute substitution that happened a couple of weeks ago.
And you'd like to see Hudson-Odoi break into the England squad, especially with the Euros coming around, and this is the next generation of England, and you've got some very skillful young talents.
Whilst we wait for the game to restart, which it has now, please put any questions you have in the chat. I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah, we'll be discussing it throughout the stream. Make
Just
sure
maybe
to
not-
put it in live chat.
Played along by Rashford as he falls over the advertising board. Not able to get control of it, but puts it out for a Chelsea throw-in just by the corner flag.
Good play from
Good
Rashford
gesture.
in the end.
Yeah, he's kept it on. He didn't let it go for a goal kick and for a throw in.
Can United make the most of this? Box them in.
It's good he was
That's-
able to get straight back up as well.
Oh, that one's probably going to hurt a bit more inside than out.
I wouldn't like to be the owner of that microphone though that he took out on the way down.
Yeah.
It's a few grand in damages right there.
But as you've said, United are trying to box them in. 5 players, or 6 players in very close proximity, and they have won it back.
And it's Fred out to Daniel James. Tackled by Kante.
James can win it back. No, he can't.
And it's out to Chilwell, who can clear the lines. Good.
And now
header.
Chelsea can bring it
Going
forward.
as far as Kante.
Oh,
Oh,
but the
and the
ref
referee puts
blows
it back for
for a
head
foul on
injury.
Ziyech.
I've just seen that. I'm not sure about that one. Oh, well, I guess if he's injured, it's fair enough to actually stop the play. But if he's given a free kick...
Ooh,
No, I believe it was just head injury. That's why games stopped. But Chelsea did have possession of the ball, so they should receive a drop ball after this.
I don't like it when they show slow motion replays of tackles or just interferences between players, because there's no way of knowing how hard the impact is, and it's so much easier to
Look at replays in slow motion and just say, well, that's nothing.
That's what's encouraged the gamesmanship that we're seeing, particularly, well, this season and last season since VAR was introduced. They know if there's contact, that if they are to go down, 9 times out of 10 they're going to get a penalty.
Yeah, and
Key
that
players
encourages
like Salah.
dives all over the place.
Key player taking advantage of that. You've got to say Mohamed Salah.
Yes, he's certainly the obvious one.
But you definitely say United are probably the team that have taken advantage of this the most, because you've got players like Martial and Rashford, and even at times Fernandes running into the box and drawing the foul.
They're all agile players, which means with their quick feet they can sort of just encourage a challenge from a player, and once they see that leg go out, they're very quick to jump straight over it.
Yeah, just trail a leg and go down.
We're about 5 minutes to go till half time at Stamford Bridge, 0-0 the score.
Played out to Chilwell, who turns back to his own goal, back to Rudiger, and all the way home to Mendy. Daniel James pressing this very quickly. Can he get onto it? No, out to Azpilicueta.
And Chelsea play out through the press, but a poor pass from Ziyech there. And United
And it's picked up by Fred on the outside of the box.
Step overs.
And good tackle
Oh,
by
United at the
Azpilicueta.
back with Fernandes. Oh, and the shot's deflected wide for a corner.
Chelsea looking worried at the back. Not able to get it clear there, they'd hope.
I think
Very
what's
scrappy.
disappointing about Chelsea, the fact that they had only half an attack going, or they certainly had possession in the United half, they then pass it back and still concede a chance.
Yeah.
To Thomas Tuchel, you've got to think about making a change at half time. Would you? I feel like you've got to make a defensive change to strengthen that midfield. That seems to be where they're losing out at the moment.
Definitely.
The corner's taken in and cleared out. Fernandes plays it forward, cleared out by Azpilicueta, only as far as Lindelof. He plays it back to Fred. Wan-Bissaka tries to take on Mount, plays it to Fernandes, plays it back to Wan-Bissaka. And across to Lindelof.
Been the story of it, hasn't it? All the teams, both teams passing it back when they receive the ball. Which hasn't made it too
Oh,
entertaining
and-
for us.
James taken out, referee playing advantage, yes. Is this out
James
for Fred?
looked like he could have been through there for a second.
I have a feeling, who was that? Christensen could be getting a yellow card after this.
I think the referee will bring that back.
This forward to McTominay. Plays it out wide to Shaw.
Great ball.
Under pressure by Hudson-Odoi. Plays it back to Rashford. And back again.
Maguire. Beautiful
Right.
footwork. And it goes out for
wins.
a Chelsea throw.
Wins a throw in for United.
Oh, it's United's thrown.
They're both certainly appealing for it. Who's it gone to? Is it gone to United? It has, yes.
Shaw
It
is taking
seems
possession
like
of the ball.
that switch onto Shaw is open a lot of the time, and whenever Shaw gets the ball, he can't seem to find the cross or get the ball out of his feet in time because he's pressed.
You've got to think, if you're Luke Shaw, you've got to think about getting across into the box. You've got tall players like Rashford who just want to get onto the end of it. As Daniel James does just that, puts the ball into the cross. And it's cleared out by
United
Chelsea.
don't really have an aerial presence in the box without Martial.
But as we saw earlier this week, you don't need a tall presence to be in the box. It was Raheem Sterling getting a headed goal. Only
Yeah.
5'7". This is nodded down for Rashford and well tackled by Kante as it's out for United corner.
Brilliant tackle, in fact. Rashford took it down in the box. Half chance there for Manchester United, who've certainly grown into it in the last 5 minutes.
Got to applaud the long ball though by Lindelof to Fernandes to create that chance.
The long ball definitely does seem like the best route for United. As Fernandes stands over the corner. Whips in a good ball, but it's headed out by Chelsea. United gather.
And let it go out for a throw-in with Fred.
Looked like Mendy called for that, but...
Bit of a
It's
miscommunication between himself and Kante.
About a minute to go till half-time at Stamford Bridge. We'll see how much stoppage time is to be added in about 45 seconds' time. I think I might have just caught back up with you on the stream. If the ball's yet to be in play.
Well, you've got to say, in the last 10 minutes, United have looked the most threatening.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea will be the
Actually,
ones happy to have a half-time coming in a minute.
It's almost as if United don't want this half to end. They finally found the momentum, which is going to make them go. But it's now a Chelsea free kick.
Looks like Giroud has...
Slightly injured himself with that second scorpion kick.
Not quite as good as the one against Crystal Palace a couple of years ago.
No.
But it might be if Chelsea make something happen from this with Chilwell down the left.
He puts a ball in,
Ooh.
easily carried by David De Gea as we enter 2 minutes of stoppage time in this first half. Lindelof now the ball. Maguire.
Oof, little stumble from him.
Seems United just running down the clock now. Trying to keep it goalless at half time.
I think both teams don't want to take too much of a risk so far, or to now, but United did for a second and served Chelsea. They've given it away again. Fernandes breaking out.
Back to Fernandes, jumps over the ball. You've got to think, can he control it there and shoot?
Seemed just behind both him and James.
I don't
guess-
think he jumped over it. I think the ball was played slightly behind him. And Greenwood
shoots, blocked. Out to Wan-Bissaka.
1 minute to go at Stamford Bridge of stoppage time.
Again, plays it all the way back to Lindelof. McTominay.
And that's well defended by Rudiger. But takes the quick throw into McTominay.
Well, I think Rudiger surely should get a yellow card for trying to stop the play there.
I think he
Oh,
certainly
yeah.
would have if he had handballed it, which seemed like he might have for a second.
And McTominay and Rudiger
seem to be
Having a good
too
few
friendly
points
with each
left.
other.
Yeah, Rudiger was trying to have a laugh at him, give him a quick hug, but McTominay was just shrugging it off. He wasn't happy.
As Azpilicueta can play it to Hudson-Odoi, but it looks like it's gone out of play and United can have a throw in just to end the half nicely.
Very sloppy from Chelsea in this first half, particularly with possession in their own half.
Yep,
United
the half
yet
hasn't
to
ended yet as
capitalise.
Maguire plays Greenwood. Greenwood out wide to Rashford, who runs in, couple step overs, cuts in, but he's marshalled by Hudson-Odoi and across blocked by Kante, and that is the end of the first half.
Well, it's the same
Gotta
as
think-
what it was at Old Trafford earlier on in the season. 0-0 the half-time score. Of course, there was that controversial penalty call, which wasn't given in favour of Manchester United. Potential handball by Hudson-Odoi, which we all thought was a penalty. That's the really only major talking point at half-time. The half-time score at Stamford Bridge is Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. We'll see you for the second half.
with you. I can't be sad with you. Just take my hand and fly up through the dreams where the skies are so clear. With you, I wanna stay with you. With you, I love the way that you love me today. Let's run up through the fields where the sun shines and heals. With you, I wanna stay with you. It's been so cold since you have been gone. Like I was told, you're the only one. It's been so cold since you have been gone. Like I was told, you're the only one. I can't be sad with you. Just take my hand and fly up to the dreams where the skies are so clear. With you, I wanna stay with you. I wanna stay with you. I wanna stay with you.
It's like a family tree, part of you and part of me. And if we should separate, go your own way, I won't wait.
Bring the funk back.
Welcome back to Match Centre Live. We're here with Joshy and Sam for the second half now of this one between Chelsea and Manchester United. 0-0 the score at half-time as the teams are about to come out for the second half. And we have our first question of the live chat from a very big Manchester United fan saying handball or not. We all agreed at the time that it was a handball and that it was a mistake. I think it's fair to say we still agree it was a mistake from the referee in modern times, but really should that sort of thing be given a handball?
Well, it's an interesting one because in the modern game as we know it, and with those types of handballs consistently given, in the current climate, yes, it's a handball, but what football should be, it's not a handball. So you'd say Hudson-Odoi is lucky to have gotten away with it.
I differ from you in that respect.
You think it's a handball anyway?
I think his hand's high. That's for one. It's an unnatural position. His hand moves towards the ball, whether or not that's to try and block Greenwood from getting it. But his hand has gone towards the ball. The ball, as a result, has changed direction. And I think nowadays, in fact, just in general, that's a handball.
Interesting.
I don't know how it wasn't given.
I don't know. That's the thing that I criticise is how that wasn't given. And I thought with handballs, VAR was just about getting to a point where they were starting to be a bit more consistent with it. But that's just blown it back out the window again.
Well, VAR this weekend has just not been the one. With yesterday, Brighton being so unlucky against West Brom. And
especially that free kick, the Buncle, where Brighton took a quick free kick, scored, but the referee blew the whistle twice. And as a result, they had to retake it. And I think
just poor
referees
refereeing.
nowadays,
Poor refereeing.
they're under so much pressure.
Poor refereeing and VAR not stepping in.
Well, there's nothing VAR could have done about that. because he blew his whistle again, which means whatever happened, it had to stop. It was the referee, once he'd blown his whistle, leave it. Don't blow it again. That's
If you ask me, that's a refereeing mistake.
yeah.
So, as it looks like United players are just running out for the second half. And Reece James is coming on.
Would that be for Hudson-Odoi,
Yeah.
I'd imagine?
I felt for Hudson-Odoi at that half because he was doing a lot of defensive duties and he was doing it well, but he struggled to get out.
And
Don't
James,
feel bad for Hudson-Odoi. You can't seem to get too much game time at the moment.
still young though, can still work his way back into the side and have his chance at Chelsea.
The other thing in the chat saying Max BB says players shouldn't really have arms nowadays.
That's certainly what keeps on being said, because with some of the handball decisions that have been given, and yeah,
Getting very hard.
I agree.
Especially in FIFA. Like, why is there a hitbox for the arm?
Yep, you
And
keep
we're
saying
underway.
that. So we
Second
are
half.
underway. Chelsea, get us underway, and we'll get the crowd noise up for you as soon as we can. And it's James who gets his first touch for Chelsea here.
Oh, and it's off the referee. Back for a Chelsea free kick.
That's one of the good new rules that they've added, is that when it does hit the referee and changes possession, that they do stop the play. I think there's certainly been a few occasions long in the past where it came off a referee and led to a goal. So that's one of the new rules that I will certainly praise from the Premier League and the FA.
Although you do hear a lot of traditionalists say, oh, well, the referees are part of the pitch. And that's, I think, where the new generation of footballers disagree.
I think now more than ever the referee has a vital part to play in every single match.
Yes, and it's a shame they're all useless, so
Yeah.
it's not good that the pressure's been added on
It
them.
seems like this season they've really stepped off their game.
Yes. Which, for my cry, is that VAR, they should completely scrap it. If that were to happen, which I'm sure it won't, the referees, it would take them time. Oh, he looks injured, doesn't he? Yeah.
It's worrying news for Chelsea as Hudson-Odoi comes off an injury, and that's why he needed to be replaced by Reece James.
Yeah, had a bandage wrapped around his thigh there.
Looked like an ice pack.
Was
That's
it an
bad
ice
news.
pack? Oh, I thought it was a bandage. Never mind then.
It was an ice pack around a bandage, but that's
Ah. Chelsea have it here with Reece James. A minute into the second half. Here is Ziyech. And now with Rudiger. Make sure for the second half, if you've got any questions or about football, about this game, about the channel, make sure to put it in the live chat. We'll discuss it for you as soon as we see it. So Manchester United have the ball here.
it's Azpilicueta plays it back to Mendy.
That's an interesting question as Chelsea have it with their goalkeeper. Is football about evolution or about preserving what is a historical sport and rulebook through? Though,
That is a fantastic question. Thank you very much, Max.
shame I didn't read it right. Close enough. And I agree with the latter. I understand with little changes, like what we mentioned before with the referees, it deflecting off of them. The big changes to fit to a whole new system, which is VAR, and to make loads of rule changes to fit to it, just ruins what we know and what we love about the game. That's my opinion of it.
I feel like with the big things like VAR, there needs to be more testing done before it was implemented at such a high level.
Yes. And the problem, and in the testing stages, Ziyech's inside
and
the
it's
area,
Duo,
saved by
great
De Gea,
save.
comes out to James, and a
James.
brilliant block from Shaw.
Cleared by Chelsea have a great chance there. Great save by De Gea, and it's out with Reece James in the corner. Plays it into the box. Loops.
So it seemed a bit manic for a second there, guys.
We almost missed it, all three of us at first, and then we all looked at the same time. But that's what talking about VAR does to you. You forget about the football.
Oh, very,
Best
very
chance of the game for Chelsea.
You're going to think, can Ziyech do a bit better there?
Yeah, either side of the goalkeeper, and that's 1-0.
He's got the time in the box. It's not really being challenged, and he hits it straight at the keeper.
think in
I think
a
a
game
player
with
of his
such,
caliber should be able to aim it better.
I think
There you
a
go, and
game
that-
in such few chances, when that chance comes, it's sort of just a rush of adrenaline, which in the end he panics. He just wants to get his shot away rather than being a bit calmer and placing it into the either side of the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Going back to the question, as we know, the sport that we play is reflected in our society, and the society that we're in is very technological. So of course VAR was inevitably always going to be introduced, and we have to adapt to how VAR. Oh, hang on a second.
He's kicked out at him,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
first-
Mount.
Yeah, Mount
Or
has-
maybe not.
I think if Fred there would have reacted, I think that could have possibly been a Mount red. But
It was
I'm happy he
lucky
didn't.
Mount. He thought about kicking out at him, just didn't in the end, which is certainly relieving for the Chelsea man.
We have
Yeah.
our first yellow card of the game. 49 minutes in. Chelsea
Yeah.
free kick.
That's a deserved yellow. And now Chelsea have a very good chance. Mount plays it early to Chilwell, who just heads it to a United player, but it's come back out wide. You can gather and play back.
And that is a good point, Max. You do have to keep the game recent and not old-fashioned. Think old-fashioned. Like when the game was first around, you weren't allowed any substitutions. Nowadays, you can't think anything else about substitution. How it's such an integral part of the game.
That was a very cheeky pun there. Mounted a red upon him. Because he should have, or he could have very easily gotten a red card for that, but he didn't.
Or if that would, if it were to be a red, it would be very harsh because he didn't properly kick out.
Yes.
He more rolled to
No,
one side
yeah.
and rolled to the other.
In this fixture last season, remember Maguire did kick out at possibly Tammy Abraham it was, and he avoided a red card there.
I remember seeing that and thinking, how was that not a red card?
But again, that was another stage of VAR where they just didn't quite intervene as much as what they do now.
As it's Reece James. Goes back
But then
to
you
camp.
see games such as, Spurs versus Manchester United, that 6-1 game,
Yes.
where Martial got sent off for such it was a silly mistake from him, and he shouldn't have lashed out, but
In the grand scheme of things, it was nothing.
And I
So-
think that the VAR's reason probably for not changing it was that it wasn't clear and obvious. But they seem to just pick and choose when they want to decide when
Yeah.
an incident's clear and obvious.
I think there needs to be so much more consistency with VAR and like the refs' decisions. But I'll stop for a
United are on the
second.
attack
As
now.
Jake
Sorry to
gathers
interrupt.
at the end of the box. He shoots, but it's deflected out for her.
I'll let you do that.
That
Runa!
was it.
Okay, there
Yeah.
you go, there you go.
So maybe just pause it for like 2 seconds.
Shot.
Yeah, Samuel just a slightly bit ahead of us. One thing, maybe to put an end to this VAR discussion, because I have to get it in somewhere, I think they should get rid of VAR as a whole, because it ruins celebrating goals for fans. And so many fans, not just fans, players, say that the fans are the most important part of football, and it's ruining it for them. Specifically for me, I can't celebrate my team scoring with the fear that VAR is going to intervene, especially with
Yes,
how much
I
they do intervene at the moment.
I feel like you're a bit of an anomaly, Tyler. Most fans do celebrate when they score. And think of
That is
the
true
Juve-
as well.
No,
Do you think
I
it's-
disagree with you, Joshy. Because oh, go on.
You've got to think of the jubilation the opponents feel when that goal is cancelled out. Gives them another lifeline. As it's crossed in by Shaw. And cleared away by Giroud.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be the football that we love. And
Chelsea have a
Chelsea
4-on-2. It was
As
a
Chelsea
loose
have
pass.
4 players forward.
And once again, they play it backwards instead of going forwards. As
Poor
out
pass
for
which completely slowed down the attack. Although Ziyech tries to take it past Fernandes. Still Ziyech tries to shoot on the edge of the box. Good block from Fred. Taken away by Lindelof.
Oh, great shot. I think with VAR, there needs to be so much more emphasis on clear and obvious. And if they did, then that would clear up your problem, Tyler, where they give more respect to the on-field decision. And if they see that from a replay, the player who's just scored it's a tight decision, it's on or off, they go with the on-field decision.
Yes.
And that's a poor pass.
Good pass from Chelsea. We thought they'd fix that up. by the time the second half arrived, but they're still doing it.
As Maguire plays it across field to Wan-Bissaka. Inside to Fred.
Almost 10 minutes into the second half here.
Plays it over the top. Can Daniel James get into anything? And it goes straight back to Mendy.
So this is a chance where Chelsea could break as it's rolled out quickly to Chilwell, but again, look, he stops, he's passed it backwards. It's almost predictable that that's what they're going to do now.
There's too much emphasis on keeping the ball nowadays rather than just going and trying to create as many chances as you can. Seems to be hampering Chelsea in this game.
Yeah, no team want to take that. No team in this game wants to take that risk because then they're potentially vulnerable.
But saying that, Chelsea do have a corner.
They have a what, Joshi? I'm sorry.
I'm still waiting for it. I'm not going to say anything else until I get the full corner experience.
Yeah, me too.
It's a Chelsea corner.
Yeah. I was worried that he just wouldn't say it there, and that would, especially if there's to be a goal from it, that we wouldn't be able to say anything. But they've taken it short, so it's probably not going to be a goal.
So Reece James puts it into the back post. No one there, and it's straight out for a goal kick.
Poor ball from Reece James.
The
Really
short corner. Yeah, the short corner. You have the element of surprise, and then Reece James kind of takes a couple touches, and that element of surprise is taken away.
It's when they take the short corner and then pass it back again is when it's a real problem, and then it's like, what is the point?
Yeah, that's the second time this game a short corner has not worked, so I don't understand why they continue to do that.
You've got to think with Chelsea, they've got a lot of tall players. Giroud, Rudiger,
As well.
some very airy,
Zuma has-
very good in the air.
Zuma's made a living this season off of scoring from set pieces. This is his highest scoring season as a Chelsea shirt, so...
Been here for quite a few years now.
yeah.
Zuma as well. Manchester United have it here with Wan-Bissaka. He looks long over the top from James.
There's it over the top to James. One side.
Nope, he's not onside. There goes the flag. I was waiting for that, and what I was going to say is, if I support Manchester United, at that point, if there's a goal to follow, I'm not celebrating because I have no idea. And that's where I'll leave my end point on VAR. But Manchester United, their attack ends because of the flag, and Chelsea will pick up the ball again.
Rudiger with the ball. Trying to play it, find Giroud. Cut out by McTominay, but back with Chelsea. As Kante gets it under control with Lindelof.
I'm very, very surprised about how these two teams have started the second half. But saying that, Chelsea have a break with Mount.
Tackle gets blocked and cut out by McTominay. Only as far as the Chelsea player.
Poor ball from Chilwell in the end. It hardly even reached the box. A couple headed away from Maguire.
It's Kante.
We've seen too much of this, I think, in the big games, where, especially with Manchester United, we saw 0-0 against Arsenal, against Chelsea in the reverse fixture. Well, actually, no, there was... Yeah, go on.
Of course, the 1-1 draw City-Liverpool earlier in the season. It was a big six. Just are too scared to try and go out and create anything and be vulnerable at the back. As it's played forward to Reece James in the box. Cut out by Fred.
It's a lucky clearance from Fred. It was going to go behind for a corner, but it was more smashed into the face of Luke Shaw, who prevented that.
Played quickly by James. Who gets quickly intercepted by Rashford. As it's tried to clear only as far as Azpilicueta. Who plays it out wide to Rudiger.
We'll pick it up again, the Chelsea centre-back, and now Azpilicueta down the right. Here's Mason Mount. Reece James. Pressure slowly building from Chelsea now. They've certainly been a lot more prepared to get balls into the box for the likes of Giroud. They've got it in the centre here with Kante. Heavy touch, he just about keeps the ball.
Done well there, Kante.
What can he do
And now
here?
he'll
Takes a
shoot.
shot.
Oof.
Blocked by Lindelof. Picked up by
Chelsea
Fred.
have definitely... Yeah, Chelsea are taking the game to United this half. You definitely say
Picked
that...
up by Fernandes on the counter-attack. Sees Rashford wide. Just in front of Rashford. We can't get there in time. But
was a
will
chance,
will
wasn't
the
it?
referee bring it back for a yellow card for the foul on Reece James. Bruno Fernandes
He was adamant, yes.
adamant there should have been a yellow card there, but nothing given by the referee.
But he wins it back.
Just got it back, Manchester United. That's a good tackle from Kante to prevent or to slow down the attack. Still Luke
Greenwood.
Shaw.
Greenwood
And-
shoots.
Oh.
That is just.
I think I'm slightly ahead of you.
You're
boys,
just
so I'm
ahead of us
comfortable
again.
with it.
Still. Many United fans feeling a bit hard done by Stuart Atwell today.
Certainly.
Decision's definitely not going in their favour.
No, not at all. Great opportunity there though by United. Well won in the midfield. Plays it forward to Greenwood as it just sails past the post.
We almost saw their game plan to a T with that counter-attack before, with Fernandes just couldn't get his pass right. And that's probably the best that we're going to see of Manchester United in terms of the way they want to play. So we have half an hour left at Stamford Bridge. 0-0 still the score. The Chelsea throw with Reece James here down the right.
I'll stop for a second as Fred can bring it forward, cuts it back.
Oh, good
Oh,
skill.
lovely roulette skill there.
Forward Fred. Out to Rashford. Overlap by Shaw. Can Shaw put it in the box? It's all the way across the face of goal. Out to Ambasaka. Who cuts back from McTominay. Shoots! Great save by Mendy.
Good save from Mendy there.
And it's cleared by Chelsea.
We talked about it with Ziyech before, but I think from McTominay there, he just wanted to smash it rather than pick a spot. Because the ball was laid off perfectly to him on the edge of the box.
I feel like in that situation though, where you have so many players crowding the goal mouth, just shooting and hoping for a deflection is the right thing to do. And that's, he doesn't have the time. Just
Yeah, and he is further out than where Ziyech was.
It's actually a very good save by Mendy.
Oh, and that's
Blocked it all the way.
well taking out Greenwood, and now they have a free kick very close to the corner flag, and he's picked up a yellow card.
And finally, the
That's
first
tackle.
yellow card for Chelsea.
It's their first
Oh,
game
it's-
after Fred picked one up earlier. Oof, it was quite a late sliding challenge.
That's definitely a yellow, isn't it? But I'll tell you what, it's great to see the game is becoming more open. More chances being created at both ends.
And this could be a big chance for Manchester United if Bruno Fernandes gets it right.
Let's see here. United again lining up on the edge of the box, trying to get some runners. But it's cleared away by the front man. Chilwell gets it clear, only as far as Fred.
Now you've got to
Now
get the
Shaw.
ball in. There you go. Poor ball
And
from
cleared
Shaw.
again by the first man. United just can't seem to get the crosses in today. Put it into the box, dangerous one. Cleared away by Azpilicueta, only as far as Rashford, who shoots. Simple enough save from Mendy. Saw that all the way.
Now that was a good attack from United. I mean, free kick in a good position. They managed to get the ball back into the box, and from there, it's a tough position. But Rashford would probably like to have challenged the goalkeeper a bit more. And now Chelsea can regroup and try and play it out.
I haven't been good at that so far, and it was almost a loose touch from Mendy there.
United pressing high. Let's see, can Fred win it back from Mount? No. They 1-2 with Ziyech. Mount runs forward. All he sees is goal. Oh, a bit of a wayward touch. Cuts inside. Shoots. Blocked by McTominay.
Oh, Mount's done really well there, and Ziyech can play it out to Chilwell, and it's been blocked.
Seemed like
by
a
his own
handball,
player.
if not
Nice.
offside.
You've got to think. Can Mount go inside?
Yes.
Take a touch outside there, and if he just runs forward, see McTominay, the player who's trying to tackle him, is actually behind. He just takes that touch and cut inside, gives McTominay the time.
Seemed to hold on to it for too long as well and go too far out wide. And I saw on the back of the screen, Giroud wasn't too happy. He was free at the back post, or seemed to be for a second.
Nah, Giroud's.
But no,
Giroud's-
by that point though that we saw, United players were back. He sort of slowed down Mason Mount, especially when he did cut back.
Yeah, I feel like as he had in his head that he was always going to cut back, and he was, as you said, McTominay was trailing behind him, and he kind of just slows down and allows McTominay to come back in and make the block. So Mount, I've got to do better there. And originally I thought he did well to cut back and try and get a shot in, but it allowed McTominay to make the tackle. But United are on the break with Greenwood, who plays it out wide to Wan-Bissaka, and play just slows down. But United are still on the attack with Fernandes. Tries a ball over, and it's intercepted. But they win back the ball, and it's out to McTominay,
who shoots and blocked by Rudiger and cleared by only as far as Fred on the edge of the box.
United winning it well amid Chelsea's box, and Chelsea have closed them down. And
At least they've tried a forward pass there from Fred, although he's kicked it straight back out of play, so never mind with that one.
And it seems like the next time Bulls are played, Christian Pulisic will be coming on for Chelsea.
He might just have a bit more resurgence in that final third that Mason Mount lacked in that chance a couple of minutes ago.
We'll see the way Tuchel is planning to set up. Giroud coming off, Pulisic coming on, like for like swap. Good. I think Chelsea don't have that main man up front, so can Pulisic be able to create those chances and get a good opportunity to shoot?
I guess the thinking for Thomas Tuchel is that the crosses haven't been working for Chelsea so far when they have been in that position, and if it's not going to work with Giroud, it's not going to work with anyone else, so maybe trying a different sort of approach with Pulisic coming on here.
That's a United throw-in with Shaw.
well, if the ball into the box isn't working, then why is Giroud still on the pitch?
I think you might have missed something there, Sam.
He's not on the pitch.
Aye.
As Reece James runs into trouble, Rudiger picks it up.
Did I just miss a substitution?
You missed a substitution, yes.
Giroud.
Ah. Well, I do apologise.
Don't worry, my worst mistake in the Spurs-Fulham game, when Loftus-Cheek had a chance, I got him confused with Calvert-Lewin, who plays for Everton and wasn't even on the pitch, so not quite as bad as that one for me. That's certainly my worst mistakes is doing this.
No, but it's similar. It's
No, that's Christensen. Plays out wide to Chilwell. But it's a piercing ball through, only as far as De Gea. So he picks it up easily.
Well shielded that from Harry Maguire, who started to find his form again. He certainly had a lot of criticism over his, now, almost 2-year spell at the club, particularly at the beginning of this campaign. But it's good to see the Manchester United captain get back to it again.
especially from an England point of view, because when you look at that 2018 World Cup run, Harry Maguire was an essential part of that team. And now Shaw can bring it forward.
You see Rashford on the overlap, finds Rashford, cuts back to Greenwood.
United have done well with Fred.
Fred on the edge of the box.
Take
Can
it
he
on,
shoot?
and he curls it.
Oh.
Oh, and it's just tantalising. Just wide.
Surprisingly wide.
With his right foot as well.
Great shot by Fred, curling all the way and just can't curl enough. Skims past the post, keeping the score at 0-0. Got to say, both teams having great chances, at least better and more chances than in the first half total.
And it's because of that, both teams being more ambitious in this second half, wanting to actually take the lead rather than hoping that the other team doesn't take the lead.
As Wan-Bissaka takes on Chilwell, tries to put a cross in, and it's up for a United throw-in. See what can United do here as they regroup.
23 minutes to go at Stamford Bridge.
Got to think, if you're Solskjaer, do you think about making a change now? Try and give that fresh legs just to run at Chelsea.
I think
They
the
seem
only change
interesting.
I can think of is the obvious one, Edison Cavani at some point, as long as he's not injured, which
But
I actually
remember,
have no idea of.
Cavani is coming back from injury, so he's not, going to be the same coming on. As we saw yesterday, as Kun Aguero had a pretty uneventful 60 minutes on the pitch, but he has obviously been out for a lot longer than Cavani has. But Joshy, it's good to see Aguero back, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great to see him back. Wrong game to bring him back though. Guerra is more of a poacher. You're number 10, that goal scorer. Was again against West Ham yesterday, you needed more a Jesus player, someone just to run at West Ham and win the ball back. But for Solskjaer, you got to think, could he bring on Van der Beek? Could he bring on Martial?
There's been a lot of talk about Van der Beek since he's arrived from Ajax as well, about his lack of game time.
Van der Beek is also one of those players returning back from injury.
You can tell well, certainly I don't watch that much of Manchester United. I had no idea about these couple of players coming back from injury.
Well, I didn't know either until yesterday when I did a bit of research.
Shush.
As Mount does well to skip away from two players and plays not a very good ball outright to Wan-Bissaka, who's done well there to play to James.
James running at Rudiger. Slows it down. Tries to find
weak
Hernandez.
pass.
Now Kovacic can bring it forward.
Nunez out to the edge. Who plays the long ball forward, cut out by Maguire. Promising football though from both teams at the moment, as they're cut up by Kante. Now Kovacic.
Oh, Chelsea have got to move the ball quicker. At this rate, the game's going to end 0-0.
Time to get back and regroup.
Chelsea have it down the left here with Chilwell. Now it's Pulisic, of course, just coming on from the bench. And this is Christensen, as it's back to the centre-backs again for Chelsea.
Play forward by Azpilicueta. Out to Pulisic, who plays it out to James. And once again playing it back to Kante. And again back to Rudiger. Chelsea just finding any way possible to break through the United defence, not willing to give away the ball. Just trying to gain possession, hold possession. This is out to Azpilicueta in their own half.
Manchester United are starting to press Chelsea a bit now. I think they're getting bored of the slow possession as well.
But of course, this does also open up the pitch for Chelsea. They can find that one ball over the top. United are a lot more spread out than they were just 1 minute ago.
That's better.
That's very nice play. But Mount just can't get all he wants and it goes out for play. For a goal kick.
Thomas Tuchel, his head in his hands.
Yeah, you can see his frustration.
Yeah. His unbeaten record of taking over Chelsea still seems to be intact, but a disappointing 1-1 draw against Southampton in the league last week and a draw against United here.
As it's played forward to Rashford, cut out by Reece James. Seems Martial is about to come on for the Reds.
They do need that presence as a striker, you feel.
I have a feeling it'll probably be a Daniel James coming off for Martial. Daniel James, although being good at times, not being as influential as Solskjaer would want.
He's not at a stage yet in his career where he seems to be using his best aspect, which is pace, to the full. And he hasn't really developed anything else. That's sort of why he seems to be there at the moment. A bit like Raheem Sterling initially in his career, that there was talk about all that he was pace, but I think under Pep Guardiola, he's certainly improved in that regard, specifically with his numbers. I'm sure you'll be happy about that, Joshy, over the last few years.
Oh, of course.
But with Raheem Sterling, no matter the game, he'll always find an opportunity at some point to get a one-on-one with the defender. And once he does, because his acceleration is lightning quick, he'll absolutely skin you for pace. And I feel like Daniel James is inexperienced as a player, and he doesn't know where to kind of play in his role in this United team.
It's almost like he just expects his pace to do everything for him.
I mean, let's not. Oh, it's a long shot. Easily picked up by De Gea.
Kovacic not
Let's
quite
not
known for his goals.
Daniel James is only 23. He's still got a long career ahead of him.
Very true. Part of the reason why United signed him, because very good young prospect that could potentially become a key talisman for them in the
United
coming year.
won't mind those type of shots from Kovacic. 30 yards, they'll let him shoot from there all day. now played forward to McTominay. Back to Maguire.
It's a good
Plays
ball.
it forward to Greenwood, who's dispossessed. Now to Kovacic. Out to James. Plays it back to Ziyech. Now Chilwell. Puts the ball in. Cleared away by Maguire. And he's
Ziyech can touch it down to Azpilicueta, who shoots and he just drags it into De Gea's arms.
Almost every
Chelsea
time.
definitely-
Almost every time that the ball has fell to someone on the edge of the box, it seems to be on their weak foot, apart from the Kovacic one just a few minutes ago, which is
There's now
certainly not
two
helping
go-
with the lack of goals in this one.
Chelsea definitely the better team in the last 5-10 minutes. United will look to rectify that with a substitution possibly. But as I say that, Fred bringing the ball forward out wide to Rashford. But the attack just slows down again, allowing Chelsea to bring back players.
Hopefully the introduction of Martial, and I think I saw Werner about to come on for Chelsea, might just spring this game back to life again in the last 15 minutes, which we are entering now.
Well, I think that is an indication from both teams that they want to go out and win this game, which is definitely what we want to see as neutrals in the last 15 minutes, and especially as they both have, this is a pivot, a very, very important stage of both of these teams' seasons, both in the FA Cup, both doing well in Europe. But James puts in a good
Plays the
ball.
ball in, still by Mendy. And no United there to feast on that open goal.
Just about recovered in time there, Mendy, after spilling it from the cross. Oof. It was a close one. Was it James that was coming in? No, in fact, I'm not sure who it was. It was James who got the ball in initially for Manchester
It was
United.
Bruno Fernandes, just too far away from the Chelsea goalkeeper to capitalise on that spilled ball.
But maybe it would
Greenwood
take a
instantly
moment like
unaware.
that to break the deadlock in this game.
Still no substitutions from either manager at this point. Chelsea obviously making two, with their third to come, and United about to make their first.
So Chelsea, this is an interesting period, especially for Chelsea, as you know, they fired Frank Lampard. Disappointing ball. They fired Frank Lampard, obviously, because they weren't getting Champions League. Silverware was looking unlikely.
Let's see, can United play on the break?
No, they
Like
can't.
Fernandes easily cuts out that Azpilicueta.
It's unlike Fernandes to be a bit hesitant to play the pass to Rashford there. So he was sprinting through.
As now the ball is, I think, taken back for a free kick on Daniel James, or if not, stopped for injury.
So here,
Where do you think? Where do you think both of these teams, what their ambitions are for this season? Because you definitely say Champions League, but in terms of silverware, they're both in a European competition and they're both in a domestic competition.
I think both teams will be a bit disappointed if they go home trophyless this season. They both have their eyes on the European Cup.
I think for Man United, it seems like, for me, if I was a United fan, I'd already be disappointed at the season. Because when they were at the stage, only a few weeks ago really, where they were top of the league, they never seemed to utilise it, to want to actually go on and possibly challenge for the title. It almost seemed like they were happy to be there. So I guess for the rest of the season, it's just to make sure they get top four. There's been a lot of changes throughout the season, and they've got to just calm it down and make sure they do get enough points to get in the top four. And I guess focus on the Europa League. That would be a brilliant trophy for them after winning it only a few years ago.
However, the Europa League is definitely a competition that you have to prioritise over the league, and it's a very risky route into getting into the Champions League. So it will be interesting to see whether United focus more on the league or in Europe, and obviously they have a very difficult tie against Milan. So it will definitely be intriguing, won't it?
With that stoppage of play, we finally see the substitutions. Greenwood coming off for Martial, and Werner coming on for Chelsea. Werner, of course, replacing Ziyech.
Joshy, how do you feel about facing this United team a week today?
Well, I feel the form that City are in currently. I feel like there's no team who can stop us at the moment.
I think this Man United team doesn't stand a chance.
We can only hope. There's now Chelsea have a free kick. United with a high line on the edge of their box. Whipped in from Mount. Flicked on by Christensen, but picked up by Wan-Bissaka as he runs down the line. Plays it forward to Rashford. Oh, sorry, to Fred.
The wrong player there for Manchester United. They would have liked it to be Rashford or Martial who'd just come on to be there down the right hand side, not Fred trying to launch the counter attack.
I feel like what United's missed this game is that impact from Bruno Fernandes with those long balls.
Going back down to the point where Fernandes in these big games might as well not even be here. He's attempted a few ambitious passes, all of which have not paid off, and he's quite frankly been disappointing as Fred plays a loose touch and Kante can win back the ball for Chelsea.
It seems to be a theme that now in this game that Bruno Fernandes has been disappointing. I think it's fair to say Manchester United as a whole, because of it, have been disappointing.
Yeah, when Fernandes isn't on par, United are below par as well. So it just shows how important Fernandes is to this United team. And that's why I don't think they'll be getting Champions League this season, because all it takes is Fernandes to get injured and that's their season over.
You see, I still believe United will get Champions League. They currently sit in second place, and I don't see them falling below fourth for the remainder of the season. They do, you not forget, still have a healthy lead.
They do. And Leicester last season in a similar position had...
Let's not forget, United do have a 5-point lead over fourth place. And a 6-point lead over fifth.
And that fourth place, I believe, is West Ham. So not to criticise them, it's unlikely they're to keep it up, or maybe as well as some of the other teams around them.
But then again, this is a bonkers season, and we always said that Leicester in their title-winning season would fall off, and they never did. So you can never say never in football, and that's why we love it.
Used to love it before VAR, in my opinion. Man United have it here with Luke Shaw. There's still 8 minutes, just over 8 minutes to go at Stamford Bridge for a big winner in this one. There's potential for both teams to step up, and Chelsea might just do it here with Pulisic, who looked to be fouled by Shaw. Chelsea will play on though with Kante. Now down the left with Chilwell. He's cut back though to Kovacic.
Positions, and they haven't got Giroud to play a cross into.
To be honest, even when they did, they were hesitant then to get the ball into the box. So now again, it will go all the way back to the centre-backs.
Well, I think tactically Chelsea have got this game completely wrong. United, I think, had a solid game plan from minute one to play them on the counter. And I think Chelsea adapted quickly to that, and they stopped the counter, they won back the ball very quickly. Tactically, it's been a good game.
Or let's see here as Mount picks it up on the edge of the box. Plays out to Reece James. Can he put a ball in? Yes, he does.
What a challenge from Lindelof.
Fist across the 6-yard box. Lindelof just gets there ahead of Werner and puts it out for a corner.
Oh, I think Werner's got to do better there.
Oh no, I think that all goes down to the incredible defending by Lindelof. He is goal side of Werner and just is able to tap it away from from Werner.
Yeah, but the best strikers get in front of their marker.
Well, you see, that's what Werner did try that, but Lindelof again watched the ball the whole way. Thomas Tuchel sure that was going to be a goal, throwing his hands in anger that it didn't go in.
He's not afraid to hide his frustration at missed chances, Tuchel. I've noticed since he joined Chelsea.
Oh, it's a goal kick.
Oh, it's a goal kick. Fish was getting it wrong there.
That's probably why Tuchel was so vocal.
Yes. I think maybe it deflected back off Werner, because I'm almost certain Lindelof got a touch at some point.
Yeah. Or maybe the ref thinks that the Lindelof touch was by Werner. That for whatever reason he's given a goal kick.
Seems to be another mistake.
Chelsea win back the ball, but shortly after lose it. But win it back with Kante.
And Kante can play it forward and gets it
This
back.
is where they've got to make the most of it, as they've got it on the edge of the box with Werner. He goes down the left. Ooh, low-driven cross-come shot, but too close to David De Gea, and he'll claim it for Manchester United.
Chelsea now being the aggressive one out of the two teams. United more looking like they're able or wanting to settle for a draw. Just happy to play on
Chelsea
the
need this win more than United do.
See what Bruno Fernandes can do here with the throw-in.
In saying that, at the bottom of our screen, we can see Chelsea have had 15 attempts, Manchester United have 10, so maybe it hasn't been that bad of a game, as here come Chelsea with Pulisic, but his strike was always rising from the edge of the box.
I think that's 16.
Just hits it whilst he's off balance. Then, as you say, it's always rising that shot. Just never able to get it fully under control. Got to think, both teams have had many chances, some very good chances.
They have.
They've
I
just
think
not
the
been able
story
to
of the
capitalize.
game, though, what we saw after was 5 on target for Manchester United out of 15, 3 on target out of 10 for Chelsea.
But you'd definitely say out of those attempts on target, Chelsea have had the better ones. And Giroud, in the first half, had an excellent chance to get his head on a tantalising cross from Hudson-Odoi. And since then, since they've taken off Giroud and Hudson-Odoi, they haven't quite carried that same attacking threat that they once did.
Especially now that they're not able to get a ball into the box with no target in there.
Yeah, with no... Just having the presence can help so much. And Giroud is a player that can be played off of from other players. And
Let's not
it
forget,
feels like
though,
whenever Chelsea get the ball, they kind of just play it around and are hesitant to take risks and try and play it down the middle.
let's not forget though the penalty that wasn't given for United.
That is
How
true.
important could that
I think
decision be?
that, by the looks of things, the way this one's going, will probably be, in fact, almost definitely be the major talking point after this one, especially if Chelsea are to go on and get a late winner. But here come Manchester United, though.
Play forward to Martial. Back to Fred. And across to Shaw.
This is where they've got to be quicker. They've got to get a ball in. That's better from Shaw. And a good challenge from the Chelsea man. He'll go up for a throw, I believe, to Manchester United down the left.
Do you think Martial has changed the game since coming on?
Not as of yet, to be honest. I forgot he was on the pitch, to be honest. But
If I was Solskjaer, I would bring on Donny van de Beek. Just that player who's able to pick out those passes, but also just to strengthen the midfield. He's a player who can do both. And I think he's heavily underutilised at United at the moment. Of course, the absence of Pogba in a game like this.
I think Pogba would have been the difference in this game. It's literally been calling out for someone to take on their man and play a good pass in behind, and the relationship that Fernandes and Pogba have developed.
Unfortunately, that injury just seems to be what's holding United back today.
Yeah.
That lack of a player. And unfortunately for United, Bruno Fernandes has not been able to step up to the plate to fill what Pogba normally does. So now United have a free kick.
Oh, I agree with Pulisic there. I think that's a very, very soft free kick. But United win it regardless, and Luke Shaw can run forward but play. Oh, that's a very heavy touch, and that's won back by Azpilicueta. And
kept possession by Mount as he
stays on his feet, and
United players and out for a Chelsea throw-in.
2 minutes to go at Stamford Bridge, and we'll let you know how much stoppage time there is as soon as we see it. Will there be a late winner in this one? For the second time this season, will it be 0-0 between these two sides? It'd be a bit of a letdown.
Only time will tell. Let's wait and see. As Reece James drives forward, gets taken out by Shaw.
I
Now
don't
it's
think that's a foul. I think Shaw. We'll see a replay, of course. But Shaw
Shaw-
wasn't even looking. He didn't move. He didn't move, and James Moore
Shaw
ran into
standing.
him as opposed to running around.
well, that is not too dissimilar to the penalty given against Liverpool and for Everton and Dominic Calvert-Lewin against Trent Alexander-Arnold. And I certainly know how you feel about that, Tyler.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a penalty for sure, but Did most people in the end? You did, Sam. You thought
I
it was a
think
penalty.
most people were in agreement that that was a penalty.
Yeah,
and
that was a definite penalty. As
Really?
Reece James takes.
oh, that's a great ball, but
No one
and this
attacked
just
it.
no Chelsea player on the back post just to head it in. Tantalising for Chelsea. There's now it's with Fred. Can they play on the counter?
Good ball.
Oh,
They're in here, Man United.
great chance. They've
There's
got
2 United players running in on the back post. But they do it. Oh, McTominay just slips.
One
as he-
touch too many from McTominay there.
Now it's Fernandez. Out to Shaw. Sorry.
balls to the wrong player. As James.
Oh, and
he's giving it
misread
straight away.
Bateman.
Kicked it straight off for a goal kick.
That's United's best chance they've had. This
That
half.
was their game plan. That was their game plan, and it almost worked right at the end there. But it was a waste from McTominay. He just took one touch too many. In the end, the likes of James, who was running at the back post, if he's still on
James and Rashford on the back post.
Then, but then by that point, he was almost offside. Maybe even was offside. And at that point, McTominay didn't really know what to do with it. And in the end, the soft ball cut it back to absolutely nobody.
Apart from the United penalty shout, I don't think they've deserved anything from this game.
I don't think neither have, to be
If I
honest.
saw correctly, I think Rudiger has gone down injured, and that's why we have this slight delay in this game.
That might alter the currently 3 minutes added on at the end of this one.
As Mendy's about to take the free kick. Free kick? Goal kick. Trying to kick it long down the field.
But I wonder if this is going to be won by a Chelsea player.
Maguire wins it.
What a surprise.
Only out for a Chelsea going just by the halfway line with Reece James.
I think United fans will feel that this is now Fergie time.
McTominay heads it forward, flicked on by Fred with Rashford. Tackled by James and out for United throwing.
Neither team. Chelsea just had a throw on a second ago. United now. Neither team urgent to take it. And I
Yeah,
think
I
it
was
just
just
sums it up.
thinking, If there's ever a time to play with a bit of urgency, it's when you're in stoppage time and the game's level.
Chelsea again just dawdling. Just trying to run the clock down, take as many seconds off as they can. Until they have to throw.
I think United will definitely feel a lot happier with this point than Chelsea. If they get it, as Chelsea are on the break with Kovacic to Mount, who goes down and does not get the free kick.
Alright, yeah, he's changed his mind. The ref.
Does get the free kick. The ref did take his time there.
You were at well waiting and waiting.
I was very surprised he didn't give it initially. It's
Oh,
it's a little bit of a 50-50, I think.
Reece James
no,
does just
I think the way that he put his body in front of the ball.
He's drawn the foul. He's drawn the foul, but Reece James has gone through the back of
Yeah,
Mason Mount there. So it is a free kick as James
and it's
takes
another good ball.
and
Headed
Maguire,
up.
as always, this game, has been there to clear it. It's Kovacic shoots. Easy save for De Gea.
Which leaves
Never
just
really
under a
problem.
minute now. If Manchester United want to start a break and maybe get a winner in this one, let's see. Well,
Well,
not like
Bissaka.
that. We're not with a pass like that. Fred just about keeps it for Manchester United, although not for long. And then in the end,
Is
it was Wan-Bissaka to win it back for Manchester United. And now it's Luke Shaw driving forward. Could this be the late moment? Luke Shaw cuts it back to Bruno Fernandes. If anyone, they want him on the ball, though. He's giving it to Fred to shoot from range, and it's straight at Mendy, who parried. He was fortunate it fell to a Chelsea player.
Also, we have something in the chat from Harry. Giroud is my guy, no cap. He's obviously in agreement with all of us.
He was the player to change the game. Fortunately, he was
Well,
unable to.
Regardless of the score, I just want to say a huge thank you to Match Centre Live for having us on. And even though the game has probably
And that's full time. The referee
Been a
blows
pleasure.
the
Thank
90th
you very much.
minute.
Thank you for coming, both of you. Shame a bit of a letdown with the game being 0-0. That's the second time in I think 3 or 4 streams that we've had a 0-0, which is a shame. But thank you both for joining me anyway. I hope you've enjoyed it despite the game that we had. And thank you everyone for watching. And it gives me a chance to say, if you have enjoyed the stream, leave a like. And if you don't want to miss any more, we'll have quite a few more between now and the end of the season. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss those. But thank you for watching. Thank you two for joining us. Full-time score at Stamford Bridge. It's a shame because it's Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0.